What's up guys, it's Bailey. Welcome back to the channel and thanks for tuning in to a video where I'm going to dive into all the things that I would recommend in the upcoming Sephora VIB sale. They've recently finalized the dates and discounts for each tier, and so I will list all those details in the description box below, but the second I heard about that, I started adding things to my cart as well as taking a look at some of the items that I've purchased recently, like since the last sale, to see if there are things I would recommend and share them here with you today. So first, I'm going to be talking about the items that I ended up making a video after the last sale talking about what I actually picked up, because I made one of these recommendations videos talking about the items that were in my cart, and I think I ended up picking some things that were slightly different. So I want to recap my thoughts on the items that I actually ended up picking up, share my recommendations, and then tell you what is actually in my cart. So let's go ahead and dive in. So one thing I picked up was this Trestique highlighter. It is the Overall Starlight Powder Stick in the shade Ultraviolet. Now, I absolutely loved this when I first got it, have continued to use it, but as I did, I was like taking a hard look at it, being like, it's beautiful, but is there really nothing else out there that's similar to this? Because a lot of brands have been coming out with duochrome or more colorful highlights, and so I just thought, you know, it's worth a deeper dive into my collection to see if I have anything similar. And I actually don't really. This Trestique highlighter has a really specific vibrance to it that is a combination of both pink and purple that I haven't quite found another powder does identically. The one that I found that was the closest was from my much loved Makeup Addiction Cosmetics Holy Glow Volume 2 palette, basically the palette that introduced me to colorful highlighter. And the shade in here, it has that similar mix of pink and purple. It comes the closest in that way, but again, there is just something that's a little bit less powdery about the Trestique, which can be used both wet and dry. I'm pretty sure you could use the Holy Glow Volume 2 both wet and dry as well, but the Trestique is specifically formulated for that, so you can use it and then just get this blinding pinky purple highlight on your cheeks, whereas the Makeup Addiction Cosmetics it comes off a little bit more powdery. And not that it's bad, it still looks beautiful, it just gives a little bit more of a white cast, whereas the Trestique stays true to a more colorful highlight. So I would recommend picking it up if you've been considering it, especially since Makeup Addiction Cosmetics isn't really readily available places where you can swatch it. Especially, I think it's exclusively an online order sort of situation, unless you live near one of their retailers, but I don't. I picked this up at the makeup show when it was here in Dallas a couple years back. So this also might just be a better option if you're looking for something to pick up in store or that you can easily return if it's not your thing. Next up is the Huda Beauty New Nude palette, and this was one that I didn't think I was going to pick up. I was kind of confused when I first saw it, like didn't get what the big deal about it was, and I forget what compelled me to pick it up, but when I got it in person, I realized that pictures online just don't do this justice. This is a gorgeous palette that has a mixture of textures, lots of mattes, but also two glittery shades and a satin or like a shimmery shade, and then what they call multi-reflective shadows, like these speckled looking robin's egg type shadows in here, have a lot of different iridescent and colorful shifts to them that are just beautiful and give this palette so much versatility. I actually just uploaded a spring blush tutorial using this look if you want to go check that out. I don't think you can go wrong with this palette if you are a blushy, purpley, mauve-y type of person. This is going to check that box for you and also give you something a little bit new and fresh to your collection. Like, I know a lot of people might be looking at those glitter shadows thinking they'll never use them, but I find getting a shade or two like that in a palette kind of encourages me to play a little bit more, get out of my comfort zone. It's makeup, it's not permanent, but I don't necessarily want to buy an entire palette of glitters. I mean, now I do, but I had to find like my gateway glitters to get me comfortable doing that, and so I find this is just a really nice way to stick in your comfort zone if it happens to be pinks and purples for you, but still leave a little bit of room to play, if you know what I'm saying. And my last purchase from the most recent VIB sale is actually what I'm wearing on my eyes today. It's the Natasha Denona Gold palette, and I always, in general, Natasha Denona is a brand that if I'm going to purchase it, I try and do it during one of these sales because it's a pricier brand. But this palette really spoke to me when I first saw it, and so I figured if there was ever a time to purchase it, during the VIB sale was it. And I actually have a tutorial for this look. Hopefully by the time this video is up, I will have also put this up on my IGTV where I've been doing shorter looks. So if you want to go give me a follow there, I've been trying to post about one every week, so fingers crossed we keep it up, but that will be where a tutorial for this look is. Back to the palette though, I love it because of the mixture of textures. Once again, it has your comfort zone in here. If you are a brown tone, neutral, well, there are some warm tones in here, but for the most part, very, very flattering mattes, neutral, brown tone shimmers, but then you have these multi-chromatic, different textured shifters in here that just really allow you to get a little bit more playful with your looks. You can tone it up, or you can actually, a lot of these with just a little bit of product, give you a slightly different look without going over the top. And I love that about how what so many palettes have been doing lately. For the most part, it's been in the high-end realm, but we're starting to see more of this differentiation of texture in more affordable palettes. And I'm so, so glad, just because it brings a little bit something different and fresh to makeup, you know? Not that you need to spend this much to get something fresh and different, but if you are interested, it is a palette that I would recommend. Okay, now on to some other things that I've picked up between the last sale and this one that I would also recommend while we're on the Natasha Denona train. Let's just carry on. The first of which is the Bloom Blush and Glow palette. This is a mixture of cream and powder products, and it just gives you this beautiful, dewy, fresh, healthy looking glow about you when you use all of them. I mean, when you use the powders too, I've really come to like using the Duo Glow and the Glow Extreme, both of the powder products here, over most of my blush looks. Like, they're just great blush toppers and highlighters for a really fresh and dewy look. Surprisingly, the Glow Extreme, even though it swatches, like, I have yet to find a swatch of this that doesn't look like a disco ball, but when you actually wear it, it feels a lot more like a glossy look and less like a glitter. And I find that's the case with so many Natasha Denona products. I don't know if it's the way the product is milled or what, but there is just, the second I think it's gonna look like a disco ball, it shockingly doesn't. So if that's been a reservation for you, I would still go ahead and give this a go, because I think it's less glittery than you anticipate it being on your face. Just in terms of packaging too, it's so well thought out. It has this plastic protector that is not flimsy. You flip it up and you flip it, it's like a hard plastic protector, so you don't have to worry about powder getting into your creams. Overall, it's just a gorgeous product, beautiful color palette if it appeals to you. However, if you feel like you don't want to dive headfirst into a full-size, pricier item from Natasha Denona, I also recommend you check out the mini Diamond and Glows. This used to be the only one she had out. This has a duo glow on one side. It's this baby soft pink with a gold duochrome, and then there is the diamond powder, which is the highlighter, and it has kind of an iridescent pinkiness to it. Again, looks like chunky shimmer in the pan, but somehow just comes off as more of a dewy, wet sort of look on the skin. Really love it. And even though it's a mini, you still get a ton of product, which I love. And actually, one thing in my cart, not to get ahead of myself, but she recently launched a Bronze and Glow version. I'm not sure if that's what it's called, but basically it's the bronzy equivalent to this, where you get a bronzing blushy powder and then another bronzy highlight powder in here. And because you get so much product and the product is such a good quality, I just can't say no, given the quality that I know and have come to expect from my Natasha Denona face products. Okay, what's next? The Ordinary. So I have picked up some Ordinary products recently. I think I talked about these in my recent favorites video. Have been loving the niacinamide and salicylic acid 2% solution, so restocking up on that. I've gone through them pretty quickly. To be fair, I did drop my niacinamide, which was such a bummer, but they're pretty affordable, plus with 20% off. You just can't beat it. So I think I'm gonna get a couple of these. And then I also have a retinol formula from them. This is the Gran Active Retinoid 2% emulsion, and I have made my way. I haven't gotten quite as far in here, so I'll probably only pick up another one of these. But then I also have, hold on, let me check my cart, because I have a new product that I have never tried from The Ordinary, and I think it's relatively new from them. It's the AHA 30% and BHA 2% peeling solution. That is currently in my cart as well, with the hopes that it will do something similar to my Drunk Elephant Baby Facial, which I love, have bought a backup of because I loved it so much. In fact, Drunk Elephant used to be my go-to skincare that I would pick up during these VIB sale hauls, but because I've been so in love with my current skincare routine and it's involved these products from The Ordinary, that's all I'm picking up. So it's really made me excited to try more from the brand The Ordinary without overdoing it, of course. They have such a wide variety in their skincare collection, and it's so affordable that I feel like I could just buy all the things but then never really know what works and what doesn't, and in the end maybe do some harm to my skin. So I'm trying to limit myself, get really targeted with the items that I'm getting and trying them for a long time to see if I love them, but so far these are what I've been loving. Okay, and last up is fragrance, which is another category that I just have gotten to really love picking up during these sales. In the past, I've gotten some Tom Ford fragrances. I love Ombre Leather, Tobacco Vanille, and the Lost Cherry fragrance if it's still available, because I know it was limited edition, but would totally recommend all of those, but I'm pretty stocked on those still so far. However, over the holidays, my mom got me this sampler from Juliet Has a Gun. She has a couple of fragrances from this collection and absolutely loves them, and we've gone into Sephora together to smell some of them, and I like them, but I just couldn't really land on one to try. So they came out with this probably around the holidays. She got it for me, and I have been loving them. I'm 100% picking up the main fragrance, which is, I think it's called This Is Not a Perfume. Yes, it's just called Not a Perfume. And actually, just so you can see kind of what comes, so this thing slides out, you get a little booklet in here that explains to you what is in, what you can expect from all of the fragrance. You get like an ultra deluxe size of the Not a Perfume, I think because it's their main perfume, or maybe it's supposed to be used as a base for the rest of the perfumes if you like to mix and match. And then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fragrances down here. And the hardest part about this is figuring out which one you like, because they are all they all smell so good. With the exception of one. I did find one that turned in a way that I didn't like on me. It's the one called Sunny Side Up. The other nice thing about this is as you pull all of these out, it tells you the notes in them. So Sunny Side Up is sandalwood, vanilla, and jasmine. But as I got to read the description here, it said something about a creaminess that on me it turned into just something I can't explain. I don't know. It reminded me of something that I just thought, that is not what I want to smell like, and I can't put my finger on it. It's just one of those things that when you smell it, you know? But I would like to get another fragrance, especially while the sale is still on. So I'm between a few. The rest of them just smell so good. The one that I'm leaning most towards is another Oud, I think that's how you pronounce it, but I hesitate to get it because it's so similar to a lot of the other fragrances that I have. Part of why I like Not a Perfume is because it's very fresh, and unlike my Tom Ford fragrances are very rich and sweet and musky, which I love, but I'm just looking for a little bit of a change up to kind of refresh my palette on days where I'm just not feeling any of those scents. So that's why I love the Not a Perfume. Whereas another Oud, it contains those same kind of musky shades that I'm typically, not talking about makeup, musky notes that I'm normally attracted to. So I love it, but I'm also like, it's gonna be more of the same. Maybe branch out into something that's a little bit different, introduces a little bit more variety into my fragrance collection. So we'll see, TBD, but I am definitely getting Not a Perfume. I just realized I have 2 more products in my cart. Both are from the brand Patrick Ta, and proof that influencer marketing works, because I saw everyone glowing like a goddess on Instagram. I wanted to glow like a goddess. So I'm picking up the Major Glow Highlighting Mist in the shade We Love Her, and I'm also getting the Major Glow Body Oil in A Dream. Because it's summer, we're showing more skin with short sleeves, flowier dresses, shorts or capris or whatever it is we like to wear in the summer, just generally showing more skin, and so I want it to glow. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm just the worst at moisturizing my skin year round, so I feel like if I have this glow body oil sort of situation, it will encourage me to keep everything hydrated and glowing like a goddess. I didn't know much about this brand before I saw everyone talking about it, like the press event and things like that, so I don't know much about it beyond what everybody else might have seen along with me on social media, but I'm excited to try it. They also have a lip gloss in this collection, and I'm pretty set on lip glosses, so I'm not getting any of those. There's also a fan, which I was kind of tempted because like the idea of, luxuriously fanning yourself, waiting for your gorgeous goddess skin to dry is very appealing. First of all, too lazy for manual drying. Second of all, it was probably in a Jaclyn Hill tutorial or video where she had talked about picking up some cheapo like electric fan on Amazon, the kind that you like take to a ballpark or a theme park in the summer to keep cool. Getting one of those things and using that to like dry your face mist. Same for your body creams, oils situations. I'm probably just gonna pick one of those up if I really just can't wait for everything else to dry. But that's everything in my cart and everything that I would recommend you pick up in this sale if it's something that you have been interested in. Thanks if you've made it this far in the video. Thanks for hanging in there with me. This has been, I think, an unusually chatty video, but I'm just really excited about all of these things. So let me know if you guys are picking anything up, what that is. Tell me down in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys!